The internet is shaking right now because Kirk Frost and young Jock, two of Love and Hip Hop's most infamous heavyweights, have just been arrested. In a violent late-night brawl that's already being called one of the wildest scandals in the show's history. And if that wasn't enough, an absolutely shocking video has just leaked online, exposing every brutal second of what went down. Fans are screaming, industry insiders are stunned, and police sources are scrambling to contain the fallout. This isn't just a fight. This isn't just drama. What happened was so intense, so vicious, that authorities had no choice but to step in. Sources say fists were flying, bottles were breaking, and the chaos spilled into the streets. And when you see the footage, you'll understand why people are calling it career-ending for both men. But here's the part that nobody expected. Whispers say this wasn't some random argument. This fight might have been building for months, with secret betrayals, hidden business deals gone wrong, and dangerous alliances that finally exploded in the worst possible way, And now, with both Kirk and Jock sitting in handcuffs, the future of their reputations, their families, and even their spots on Love and Hip Hop are hanging by a thread. Stay locked in. It's because what's coming next will shock you even more. The night started like any other Atlanta, buzzing with lights, music, and celebrity appearances, but nobody could have predicted that Kirk Frost and young Jock would end up in handcuffs after one of the most violent and humiliating brawls the Love and Hip Hop franchise has ever seen. It was supposed to be a chill night, celebration at a local spot where cast members and friends were gathering. But what unfolded has now gone viral, sending shockwaves through the industry. The leaked video that surfaced just hours after the incident is already being dissected frame by frame across social media. In the clip, you can see young Jock, clearly heated, shouting across the venue while Kirk Frost stands near the bar, trying to wave him off. At first, it looks like just another argument, the kind fans are used to seeing play out on screen. But then, in a split second, things take a terrifying turn. Jock charges forward. The crowd gasps, and suddenly fists are flying. Security scrambles to break it up, but the punches keep coming. Kirk, instead of backing down, swings back, and that's when everything erupts into chaos. Fans watching the clip describe it as complete madness. Chairs crash, drinks spill, and someone can even be heard screaming, "Call the cops." The shaky footage shows multiple people trying to pull the men apart, but neither one is letting go. Kirk can be seen shouting something about respect, while Jock is yelling about betrayal, words that only fuel speculation about what really caused the fight. Police sources say by the time officers arrived, the situation had already spiraled beyond control. Witnesses claim both men ignored commands to calm down, and in the confusion, additional altercations sparked between bystanders. According to one insider, the scene looked less like a nightclub and more like a full-on riot. Officers had no choice but to detain both Kirk and Jock, leaving them out in handcuffs as stunned fans filmed the moment on their phones. That footage, Kirk Frost, head down as flashing lights surround him, and young Jock shouting as he's dragged toward a squad car, is already dominating timelines. Hashtags like #Kirk and JOC fight and #LHH arrest are trending, with fans divided between outrage, shock, and disbelief. Some are calling it the end of their careers, while others claim this could be a setup, orchestrated to embarrass the two men at the height of their reality TV fame. But here's where things get even darker. Multiple insiders are whispering that this fight didn't just erupt out of nowhere. Behind the scenes, there's been serious tension between Kirk and Jack for months. Business deals, money disputes, and messy personal entanglements are all being cited as possible reasons why the two finally exploded in public. One source close to the cast claimed that Jock had been sitting on some incriminating information about Kirk, something tied to financial dealings that could ruin him. Meanwhile, others say Kirk was fed up with Jock's reckless behavior. And the fight was simply the final straw in a long-running Cold War between the two. And let's not forget, both men have plenty of baggage. Kirk Frost, already infamous for his cheating scandals and ongoing drama with Rashida, has been walking on thin ice with the public for years. Young Jock, with his wild lifestyle and never-ending controversies, isn't exactly seen as the voice of reason either. So when these two collided in such a violent public way, fans immediately assumed the worst, adding fuel to the fire. Alleged text messages are now circulating online that suggest Jock may have provoked the confrontation on purpose. Screenshots, supposedly from Jock's phone, show him messaging a friend hours before the fight saying, "Tonight's the night. I'm not holding back on him anymore." While these messages haven't been verified, their existence has fans speculating that this was more than just a drunken scuffle. It may have been premeditated. Meanwhile, Rashida is said to be devastated. Eyewitnesses report that she wasn't at the venue when the fight broke out. But the moment she heard Kirk had been arrested, she rushed to the station. One insider revealed she was in tears. Rashida kept saying, "Not again, Kirk, not again." She knows how bad this looks, and she's terrified about what this means for their family and their brand. And then there's the bigger problem, the law. Both Kirk and Jock are reportedly facing charges of disorderly conduct, public, fighting, and resisting arrest. Depending on how far prosecutors decide to push this, things could get much worse. A source within the Atlanta PD hinted that additional charges may be filed if more evidence surfaces from the leaked video. That means every shaky clip filmed on a fan's phone is now potential evidence that could make or break their futures. But the real cliffhanger comes from one explosive rumor making the rounds. Someone close to the fight claims that the brawl wasn't just about money or business. Allegedly, there's a personal betrayal at the heart of this, one involving loyalty, family, and even romantic entanglements that nobody saw coming. If that's true, then this fight wasn't just an accident. It was the eruption of a secret, so big it could tear apart friendships, marriages, and careers all at once, for now. Both men have been released on bail, but the damage is done. The leaked video is everywhere. The police reports are piling up, and fans are demanding answers. How did it get this far? Why were Kirk and Jock willing to risk everything in a single night of violence? And most importantly, what is the shocking betrayal that insiders claim pushed them over the edge? Because if the whispers are true, then this arrest is just the beginning of a much darker story. The leaked video may have shocked fans, but the whispers that followed in the hours after Kirk Frost and young Jock's arrests are what really set the internet on fire. Everyone's seen celebrities lose their temper before. But what makes this fight different is the dark undercurrent. The possibility that the punches thrown weren't just about bruised egos or a drunken disagreement, but about a betrayal. So personal and so devastating that no one saw it coming. Insiders claim that weeks before the incident, there was already a storm brewing behind the scenes. According to one cast member who spoke anonymously, Jock and Kirk had been avoiding each other at filming sessions, barely acknowledging one another unless cameras were rolling. It was like two men walking around with bombs strapped to their chests, the insider said. Everyone knew it was going to blow up, but nobody knew when or how bad. And now, with their mugshots splashed across social media, new pieces of evidence are coming to light that suggest Jock had been deliberately baiting Kirk for weeks. Screenshots allegedly pulled from Jock's DMs show him boasting to a friend about knowing something that'll end Kirk for good. These messages, blurred but widely circulated, have fans speculating about what dirt Jock was sitting on. Some claim it's connected to financial fraud. Others swear it's about a secret affair. But the most damning rumor, that Jock accused Kirk of betraying him in the one place he thought he could trust him most, family. A supposed audio leak, currently making the rounds on Twitter, features a voice that sounds eerily like Jock saying, "He went behind my back. Family? Bro, family." and I'll never forgive him for that. Though the authenticity of the clip is unverified, fans are convinced this is proof that the fight wasn't random at all. It was fueled by years of pent-up rage and betrayal. Adding more gasoline to the fire, another clip surfaced from a different angle of the brawl. In this one, Jock can be seen pointing directly at Kirk before lunging, shouting something that lip readers claim was, "Ask Rashida what you did." That single sentence has exploded across fan pages, dragging Rashida right into the heart of the drama. Did Jock know something about Kirk and Rashida's relationship that the public didn't? Or was it a calculated jab meant to humiliate Kirk in front of everyone? Rashida herself has yet to make an official statement, but sources close to her say she's furious and broken. One friend reportedly told a blog, "Rashida feels blindsided. She thought all of Kirk's secrets were behind them." But now Jock is hinting that there's something worse, something she doesn't know yet. That fear alone is enough to send shockwaves through her marriage and through the entire love. And dissecting old episodes for hidden clues, pointing to moments when Jock seemed to take subtle shots at Kirk, or when Rashida appeared nervous around him. The signs were there all along, one viral post claimed, racking up over 500,000 views in under 12 hours. Twitter threads are linking the fight to a supposed secret baby Kirk fathered years ago, while others believe Jock might have been romantically involved with someone close to Kirk. Every theory is wilder than the last. But the more outlandish they sound, the more the public eats them up. And it isn't just the fans fueling speculation. Other cast members are starting to weigh in, adding more chaos to the situation. Erica Dixon went live on Instagram, hinting that this ain't even the half of it and warning fans that the fight wasn't about what y'all think. When pressed for details, she cut the live short, leaving fans desperate for answers. Spice, never one to stay quiet, threw shade in a now-deleted tweet that read, "Two clowns, one circus." That's why the cops had to shut it down, though she didn't name Kirk or Jock directly. Everyone knew who she was talking about. But perhaps the most explosive reaction came from Lil Scrappy. Posting cryptically on his story, he wrote, "You can't play with family. That's why everything crumbled." The statement set fans into a frenzy, with many interpreting it as confirmation that Jock's accusations against Kirk are family-related. Some even speculate that Scrappy himself might be tangled in whatever secret caused the fight. Behind closed doors, producers at VH1 are said to be in crisis mode. The fight arrests, and now the flood of leaks have thrown the upcoming season's storyline into complete chaos. One producer, speaking off the record, admitted, "We've dealt with fights before, but never like this. If these rumors are true, we're sitting on a bombshell that could destroy relationships, contracts, and even the entire brand." Meanwhile, lawyers are circling. Both Kirk and Jock are reportedly lawyering up, not just for the criminal charges, but for what could turn into a civil war over reputation and defamation. If Jock really does have evidence that could ruin Kirk, legal experts say it might end up in court, especially if it threatens to damage Kirk's businesses or Rashida's empire. And then there's the money trail. Multiple reports suggest that in the weeks leading up to the fight, Kirk and Jock had been at odds over a failed business deal, one that cost both men thousands of dollars. Some insiders say the betrayal wasn't about love or family at all, but about one of them pocketing cash that was meant to be shared. When money's involved, loyalty goes out the window, one source claimed, and both Kirk and Jock have a lot to lose. Yet, even with all these theories, one undeniable fact remains. Someone leaked that fight video on purpose. The clarity of the footage, the timing of its release, and the way it spread like wildfire all suggest that someone wanted this moment exposed. Could it have been a rival cast member eager to embarrass them? Or worse, could it have been orchestrated by someone close to Kirk or Jock, hoping to push their secrets into the public eye? As the days pass, the fallout only grows. Fans are choosing Sides with hashtag Team JOC and hashtag Team Kirk hashtags battling it out online. Jack loyalists argue that he was standing up for himself against years of Kirk's shady behavior. Kirk supporters say Jack is desperate for attention and clout, willing to drag everyone down with him. In the middle of this, Rashida is trending, on her own as fans beg her to leave Kirk once and for all. But what nobody expected was the newest twist. A blog has just dropped. What they claim are exclusive receipts proving that Jock wasn't lying when he accused Kirk of betrayal. The receipts allegedly tie Kirk to a secret that could explode his marriage, his career, and his reputation forever. If those receipts are real, then the violent fight and arrest might just be the tip of the iceberg. It's the real storm, the truth Jock has been threatening to unleash is still on its way. And when it drops, it could destroy everything Kirk has worked to protect. Because in the world of love and hip-hop, nothing stays buried for long. The so-called receipts that hit the blogs. Hours after Kirk Frost and young Jock's arrests have turned an already wild scandal into something truly catastrophic. At first, people thought it was just another rumor mill spin until screenshots began surfacing across Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok that looked way too specific to be fake. The screenshots, allegedly from an email exchange, appear to show Kirk discussing money transfers tied to a shady business deal. But that wasn't even the part that set the internet ablaze. Hidden in those messages were references to a name, one connected to someone fans claim is dangerously close to Rashida's. Circle. While the details remain murky, suggestion alone was enough to break the floodgates wide open. Blogs began piecing together timelines, linking Kirk's supposed secret dealings to nights when Jock claimed Kirk wasn't being truthful. One viral. TikTok stitched together old love and hip-hop clips with the alleged receipts, pointing out moments when Jock hinted at knowing Kirk's real moves. The video pulled in over 1 million views in under a day, with thousands of comments calling Jock a prophet and Kirk the biggest liar on VH1. But the receipts didn't just implicate Kirk. They also hinted at the possibility that Jock had been dragged into the mess unwillingly, caught in the middle of Kirk's double life. In one shocking alleged message, the sender tells Kirk, Jock doesn't need to know where it came from, just make sure he gets his cut. Fans are interpreting this as proof that Jock felt betrayed once he realized he was being used, manipulated, into a deal that could tarnish his own name and the emotional fallout. It hit Rashida hardest. Multiple outlets are reporting that Rashida broke down in tears during a phone call that was allegedly overheard by crew members. She said she couldn't believe this was happening again, a source told a gossip blog. It was like the old wounds of Kirk's past infidelities ripped wide open. She said Jock was dragging her name in public, but Kirk was the one who put her there. On Instagram, Rashida posted a cryptic message just hours after the receipts, dropped in simple black text against a white background. She wrote, "You can't heal what you keep covering up." The post exploded instantly, with fans flooding her comments in support, but also begging her to finally walk away from Kirk. Hashtags like hashtag leave Kirk and hashtag protect RASHEEDA started trending, with viewers calling the situation toxic beyond repair. Meanwhile, Jock wasted no time adding more fuel to the fire. From his holding cell, Jock allegedly got a message out to his team, which they then posted on his Instagram story. The message read, "Truth don't need a mask. Y'all about to see why I snapped." The chilling tone of that post sent fans into a frenzy, convinced that Jock still had more evidence to drop, more bombs to detonate against Kirk. As if things weren't messy enough, other love and hip-hop stars started jumping in publicly. Spice went live again, saying, "This ain't no storyline. This is people's real lives unraveling. And y'all better believe the cameras didn't even catch half of it." Erica Mena commented under a gossip blog's post with 3 simple words, "Told y'all, so." And Sierra Gates, without naming names, tweeted, "Some people ain't who they pretend to be." Fans were quick to connect the dots, dragging Kirk's name into every thread. But the wildest reaction came from Lil, Scrappy, who doubled down on his earlier cryptic posts. In a late-night IG story, he wrote, "Family ties cut deep. When they snap, they bleed everywhere." To many, this was confirmation that Jock's anger was rooted in something deeper than money, something personal, something tied to loyalty and betrayal within their tight-knit circles. As the chatter intensified, producers at VH1 were forced into action. Rumors are swirling that they may use the leaked footage and receipts as part of an emergency re-edit of the upcoming season, turning what was supposed to be another round of love triangles and petty fights into one of the most explosive arcs in franchise history. "This is bigger than reality TV," one insider said. "This is real scandal, and the audience knows it." But here's where things get even darker. Late last night, a new video began circulating online, supposedly showing the immediate aftermath of the brawl. In this shaky cell phone clip, Kirk can be heard yelling, "Don't you dare bring her name into this," while being restrained. Fans are convinced this was directed at Jock, and that the her in question was Rashida. If true, it suggests that Jock's accusations cut so close to home that Kirk snapped not just to defend himself, but to protect Rashida from being dragged into his mess. And now, the legal stakes are growing. Jock's team has hinted that they may subpoena records tied to Kirk's alleged business deals if charges escalate. Kirk's lawyer, on the other hand, insists that the receipts are doctored, calling them a smear campaign designed to assassinate his character. But with the leaked messages spreading like wildfire, it may be too late to put the genie back in the bottle for the fans. Though none of this feels like it's slowing down, instead, the scandal has become appointment viewing with hashtags, trending worldwide, and YouTube commentary channels racking up millions of views dissecting every frame of leaked footage. The fight may have started as a brutal clash between two men, but it spiraled into a cultural event, one that could reshape how fans view not only Kirk and Jock, but the entire Love and Hip Hop Atlanta cast. And yet, for all the drama, all the leaked videos, all the whispers, one question still lingers like a shadow over the entire saga. What exactly was Jock threatening to reveal? Did he already spill it all during the fight? Or is he sitting on a final piece of evidence that could obliterate Kirk's reputation forever? In his last alleged message from jail, Jock wrote something that sent shivers down spines everywhere. The fight was just the start. The real story's still coming. With those words, fans know this scandal isn't even close to being over. The leaked video, the receipts, the arrests, they may just be the opening act. And if Jock really does drop whatever bombshell he's been hinting at, the fallout could be so massive that it won't just end Kirk's marriage, his business, or his career. It could end his place in hip-hop history altogether. Stay tuned, because the real explosion hasn't even happened yet. And if you thought this story couldn't get any wilder, let me tell you, we've only just scratched the surface. The leaked fight video, the receipts, Rashida's cryptic post, Jock's bone-chilling words from jail. This is the kind of scandal that doesn't just disappear. This is the kind of drama that explodes in real time. And the next chapter could drop at any moment. That's why I need you locked in right here. Hit that like button right now so more people see this truth unfold. Drop a comment below and let me know. Do you think Jock is really sitting on a final bombshell that could destroy Kirk forever? Or is this whole thing already bigger than anyone can handle? Your voice matters, and trust me, the cast is watching these conversations just like we are. And most importantly, make sure you subscribe with notifications on, because the next update could be the one that changes everything. More arrests, more leaked footage, more betrayals spilling into the public eye. If you miss even a single second, you'll be left behind while the rest of the world is glued to their screens. This isn't just gossip anymore. This is history in the making. So stay tuned, stay loud, and stay ready, because the storm around Kirk Frost and young Jock is only getting started.